He's also helping her with money for her tuition, and when he gets a raise at Nintendo, Sabrina just asks for even more money for stuff. She even says they need to drive a nice new car, so he gets a new car. Then
No, bruh, nah, he did. This honestly is unfortunate because he's never been in a relationship. Hey yo, what's up, guys? We're gonna be watching another video today by Ray William Johnson. Ignore the cheeks in the in the previews. Don't date her. 2 days ago. Let's get into it.
So don't ever date this woman.
Who is this one?
Now, her name's Sabrina, and Sabrina is around 25 when the story starts, and she's living in Seattle. And Sabrina is totally into nerd culture. She loves anime and comic books, and she's into the whole cosplay scene in Seattle where she lives. Now, she also really wants a little romance in her life. Like, she wants to fall in love. But she just hasn't met anyone yet. Then one day, around the early 2000s...
Uh-oh. What happened?
2010s, she posts an ad on Craigslist. And the ad is basically a rant about how white guys in Seattle are afraid to date black women because they never message her back. And pretty quickly, this guy comes across it. His name is Aaron. And so Aaron sees this ad and he's like, I'm a white guy in Seattle. I'm not afraid to date a black woman. And he sends her a message and he starts trying to get to know her.
He said, who afraid? He said, who afraid of these black women? Not me.
So then the two start messaging back and forth, and they hit it off, and they have a lot of the same interests. They're both into nerdy stuff. Like, they send each other pictures, and they start liking each other. So they meet up, and that seals the deal. Sabrina and Aaron officially start dating.
That's cute.
And Aaron, he's never had a girlfriend before, so he's excited about this. This is going to be great for him. And soon, they start going to anime cons together, and they're both pagans, so they start practicing paganism together.
Oh, they're pagans?
And Sabrina is in college, so she doesn't have a lot of money. So Aaron pays for a lot of their dates, and you know, he's fine with that because he's a gentleman. And so they date for about 9 months. And at some point during that time, Sabrina moves in with him. So now they're living together. Then, around this time, something crazy happens. Aaron comes home from work one day, and he finds Sabrina upset because she had gone to the doctor earlier, and she says the doctor diagnosed her with MS, or multiple sclerosis. And this is devastating for the both of them. I mean, not only is this a terrible disease, but it can be really expensive to treat. And so Aaron, he's gonna do whatever he can to help, and they're gonna get through this together. Now, sometimes Sabrina has medical insurance, but most of the time she doesn't. And when she doesn't, Aaron has to step in and offer to cover the cost of her medication and such. But it turns out that the medication she needs at first, it costs around $450 a month. And so Aaron is like, well, I can't afford this. And so then Sabrina starts suggesting that if she doesn't get these meds, she's going to unalive herself. Yeah, red flag. Now, Aaron, he's not going to let that.
Is that a red flag, or is that like a financial decision to help him? Honestly, like, it's not, like, I get it. Like, if she's depressed, right? Listen, there's probably going to be more to this based on, it's a Ray William Johnson video, but just off of that alone, I do not condone people wanting to, unalive themselves for various reasons like that. But I can kind of see where she's coming from, because she's like, man, it's just so expensive. Like, it's costing this guy so much money, and she doesn't have the money. And she's probably like, I don't know how bad her MS is, but I don't know, like, how much she's suffering. She seems to be, like, functional. So no, I don't agree with it. I think the better solution is just to, make more money or find a way to get it cheaper. Which is easier said than done, obviously, but, yeah, that's a tough one. I can see why she'd say that, though, even if she's not in, like, the best of places. She's probably not.
So he starts finding ways to pay for her medication, like taking out
Payday
payday
loans.
loans and
That's
stuff
not
like that,
sustainable.
borrowing money. And this really sucks for him. But he
Nah,
does
bro,
end
that's
up getting
not sustainable. You have to find a way to actually increase your income, like sustainably. You can't just keep borrowing indefinitely.
a little bit of hope. He eventually gets his dream
Nintendo.
job, working as a programmer for Nintendo.
Whoa, that's
And this is a
W.
bump up in pay for him. And so with this new
Whoa.
money, he knows that he's
He can
gonna
play.
have his girlfriend's health covered.
Yay,
So he
W
gives
him,
Sabrina
bro.
more and more money when she asks for it. And he's
Yo,
paying
let's
like
go.
$800 a month now for her new medication. And
Oh,
he's also
snap.
helping her with money for her tuition. And
Oh,
when he
snap.
gets a raise at Nintendo, Sabrina just asks for even more money for stuff. She even says they need to drive a nice new car, so he
No, we
gets a
don't.
new car. Then
No, bruh, nah, he did. This honestly is unfortunate because he's never been in a relationship, so he's about to be doing whatever for this girl. He's like, nah, this my one, this my ride or die. I'm doing anything she asks, bro. I'm gonna do anything to keep her, bro. It don't even matter. But like, he didn't. I don't think he's learned and grasped fully how to be financially responsible. Because if he's just going around upgrading his cars, like just because she's talking about we need to do all this, that's just not the case, bro. Because you're gonna have to sell that car if anything goes wrong. Basically, I don't know how much extra he has, but like if something goes wrong and like she needs to up her meds or something like that, or she needs to pay, or they need to pay for like any like actual necessary like health complications, procedures, or anything like that, you gotta sell the car now. Because, like, if you can't afford that car and you're just like, oh, you know what, we're just gonna get it. If you're not affording it handily, it makes no sense. It honestly makes no sense. If you can't just afford it, it makes no sense. It's gotta be like, it's gotta be nothing to you. Just be like, oh, yeah, I made a meal this year. Yeah, I could spend 20 grand on a car. Sure, go ahead. But it's probably not the case for him.
says that they need to get a house, so he puts a down payment on a
Oh,
he
now
gets
he's
a new
getting the
car,
house.
money for stuff. She even says they need to drive a nice new
house
car,
isn't a bad
so he
investment,
gets a new car.
depending
Then she says that
on
they
their
need to get a
situation.
house, so he puts a down payment on a house. She also has a very compulsive shopping habit. Like,
Oh,
she
that's not
buys a lot
good.
of high-end makeup, and she always buys new clothes for herself every month. And she can't help pay for any of this stuff.
Why?
Because she can't get a job because she has MS, so she's limited physically. And anytime things
she
get
get
rough for
disability?
them, either emotionally or financially, or anytime Sabrina doesn't get what she wants, she freaks the fuck out and she claims that she's going to unalive herself. So Aaron
Oh, that's
just
not
keeps
good,
working.
bro. Ah, that's gotta be tough, bro. Oh my gosh. Cause I actually have a really good friend of mine that he was diagnosed with MS. It was like a couple of years ago at this point, and I remember he had like a really bad reaction to it, and it like completely like shocked. It was like me and a couple of friends that like got on a video call with him, when he was like in the hospital and whatnot, and it was crazy. It was like, his like speech was like a little bit messed up. It was like hard to speak to him and like understand him. He couldn't really type, and it was crazy. But he's doing a lot better now, which is great. He's functioning pretty well now, which is good. But yeah, that's crazy, man. It doesn't even seem like I wonder. I guess because there's varying degrees. That some people are gonna have worse reactions to it. Like, I think my friend had probably one of the more like severe reactions to it, because like at first he was just like not functioning like normally at all, but now he's like pretty much fine. Now what 61% of people diagnosed remain employed, because it's like varying degrees. It doesn't seem like, she's like running around, jumping around, throwing tantrums and stuff. It doesn't seem like, if that's the case, if she is, then it's that bad for her. It doesn't seem like that. And she can probably actually just work, but 70%, oh, within 10 years. Yeah, I guess you can get some jobs, right? Because it depends, right? It depends on like what jobs. Probably, I imagine she can get like a really basic job that like doesn't require like nobody's gonna be tripping if she messes up. You know what I mean? Like it's not gonna like obviously no, she's not gonna like be a surgeon and something like that, because it could affect her motor functions, and cause some serious damage or like a pilot or anything like that. Not gonna fly, no pun intended. But like she can do normal stuff probably. Like with her level of activity, she could probably do normal stuff. Maybe like teaching or um, uh, like substitute teaching. Maybe like uh, grocery store clerk, something like that. Something really simple. That's like if something happens, then it's not gonna like be detrimental to society. It'll just be like, oh, she needs to take a break to get it under control or something. But she probably can get like disabilities or something too, right? I don't know. This is a huge like tangent in the video, but she's acting wild. I feel like she might have some mental health stuff going on in the back too. He's just got his Switch controller, man. I feel you.
Hard, and he
He just
keeps
wanted
paying
to
for
chill, man.
everything, trying to take care of the love of his life.
Yeah, it's tough, man.
Then things get really bad for him. Because not only does he lose his job at Nintendo, but one day Sabrina comes to him and she says that she wants to open up their relationship. Meaning
That's
she
crazy.
wants to
Nah,
stay
I
together.
low-key feel for bro, cause like there was one time, cause like when I was talking about my friend that he had gotten diagnosed with MS, he had asked me cause he didn't like have a lot of money for groceries in 1 month, so I actually like sent him some money and stuff so he could uh get some stuff going, get some stuff back together and whatnot. And so I'm just like that was one of those things where it was like, well, at that point, I didn't really have it like that. Um, so it's one of those things that just kind of like it inspires me even more to like get more and more, uh, just like stack as much money as possible because I don't really use a lot of money personally. I can, but I have a lot of goals and stuff that I'm trying to get to. But it's also a thing of like being able to help people I care about, um, when they need it. You know what I mean? So like having extra is always gonna be like it's always gonna be good for me personally because it's not like me having extra is like, oh, I got extra, I'ma like spend all of it and go buy a Lambo. Nah, that's not me. It's like I'm gonna spend the same amount that I was spending, maybe upgrade some stuff if I need it, or if I feel like I need it. Um, but then the majority of it is just going towards the stuff that I want to do with it, like foundationally, like business wise, um, growing to like develop games and stuff like that, and keeping it as like investment money to generate more money so that I can actually like afford to take care of the things that I need and like possibly help the people around me, you know what I'm saying? So it's like it's different, you know what I mean? It's different. I feel like there's a lot of different views around money and like why people want a lot of money and stuff like that. I feel like a lot of people are kind of removed from the point of it. This guy's clearly not. He's standing on business. I respect it. He's like, Nintendo, my girlfriend. He's like, you know what? I'm trying to support my family, all that. I feel that, but she's giving him like a run, bruh. She's giving him a run. I don't like it. I
But
don't
that
like
they
it.
can. Ina comes to him
She
and
said
she
they should want
says
to
that
open
she
up the
wants to
relationship.
open up their relationship.
At
Meaning
this
she
point,
wants to stay
what is she
together, but
doing, bruh? What is she doing? Like, she's just here. It feels like. I don't know what her function is. I don't know what she's like contributing to the family. I don't know what she's contributing to the world. And that's okay. Like to just be here cuz like kids are that too, you know what I mean? Like kids, I'm not looking at kids to be like, what are you contributing to society? It's like, no, I'm going to take care of you regardless. Like I look at my nephew, I'm not like judging him like, "Oh, um this and this and that. You're not contributing anything to the society. You're not contributing anything to the household, helping out anybody. I'm just like, no, bro. He's 6 years old, bro. What is he? He's just here, bro, and that's enough. That's fine. But she can actually probably do other stuff. She can probably contribute to society in meaningful ways. But it doesn't appear that she's doing that. It looks like she's just draining resources for apparently no reason. I don't know why. I guess like fulfillment of her life, but like she's not contributing anything to that. You know what I mean? She's just taking from people. She's not even like really giving that much back. It feels like just watching the story. It feels so imbalanced and manipulative. But let's continue.
That they can each smash with other people.
Let's smash
Now,
other
Aaron,
people.
he
She
agrees
might be
to
a
this,
demon,
but he's
though.
not super happy about it. Plus, apparently Sabrina had been sneaking around with someone already.
She
And
was
this
already cheating,
opening up
that's
the
why she's-
relationship was her excuse to keep doing
Pack
it.
her up.
So anyway, they start
All right,
this
get her
open
outta here.
relationship thing.
Pack her up. Right,
And
you gotta
one
break
night,
up.
Aaron is out on a date with another woman. And they actually end up at some kind of party.
Oh,
And
unless it works
suddenly,
for him.
Sabrina starts texting him over and
Oh,
over.
why does he look stressed? No, let this man be happy with his little Asian girl, right? She probably looks like a little Asian girl. I could see, like in the facial features, I would say. He is working at Nintendo. I could see it.
Kind of party. And suddenly, Sabrina
Not that I'm
starts
racist or
texting him
profiling or
over
anything. Y'all
and
know what
over
it
again.
is.
And she's
I shouldn't
panicking.
have to
She
explain
says that she's home and she's locked in the bathroom and that she's taken a bunch of pills. I guess
Nah,
this is her
bruh.
way of threatening to unalive herself again.
Nah, bro.
So Aaron, he gets in his car and he races home and he parks his car outside and he's sitting in this car and his date, she's still with him. And it's in that moment
Got
that
the
they
side
see
in the
Sabrina
car.
just like casually leave the apartment and go off to dinner with her friends. And that is when Aaron realizes that his girlfriend is in fact a fucking
demon.
liar.
Yeah.
And so he starts getting skeptical about a lot of stuff that she had been telling him.
Yeah.
And later he calls the MS Society, which is a nonprofit, and he talks to them about Sabrina and he lists the medications that he was told she is taking. And the MS Society is like, those medications aren't for MS. So it is at this
What are they
point that
for?
poor Aaron realizes that his long-term girlfriend, the one he's been paying for all these years, doesn't actually have multiple sclerosis. She made it all up.
Of course.
She
Yeah,
faked
because
the
like based
entire...
on the way she was acting, I didn't see any symptoms, bro. I was just like, she looks like a normal functioning human in society. I'm just like, yo, because I've seen what happens when people actually have it, and I'm just like, she didn't look like she was exhibiting anything. So yeah, that's not surprising.
thing, which she apparently does to scam people. Not just Aaron, but she'd also borrowed money from a lot of their friends, too. So Aaron is immediately like, fuck all this, and he ends the relationship with her. And they go
Yeah.
their separate ways.
Get the
but
money back,
she
bro.
ends up
Get it back
leaving
in
him
blood. No, I'm
about
kidding.
$80,000 in
Get it back in the courts. Wait, oh, she's gonna pay the debt.
go their separate ways. But she ends up leaving him about $80,000 in debt. While Sabrina, she actually moves on pretty quickly. And
Of
she
course she
meets
does.
some other woman on a dating app, and they start dating, and she tells this woman that she has MS, and that she really needs money for meds and for other stuff
The
going on in
scam
her
starts
life.
again, bro.
And Sabrina's new partner is like, yeah, sure. And she gives her money. And I don't know what's going on in Seattle, but it looks like Sabrina's just gonna keep scamming
That's
her
the
new
MS
lovers.
scam, bro.
And these lovers are just gonna keep falling for it.
Untrue. All right, great. This is
About
untrue.
9
Let's
months
go.
go by, and Sabrina uses some of this money
Credit
that she
card
scammed
scam?
out of people, and she takes a trip to Japan with some of her friends.
Oh, of
and
course.
on this trip, she decides to pull a scam on her friends. So then she gets on social media, and she starts posting about how somehow all her money has...
Wow. She used a fake screenshot. Wow. That's insane. Are her friends with her on the trip? Are they staying together, right?
suddenly
That's
been
so
drained
crazy.
from her bank account by some shady people, and that she then tried to unalive herself because she really needs that money to live, and now she's stuck in
Yikes.
Japan forever. So her friends back in the US who don't know that she's a scam artist, they get worried and they set up a GoFundMe account to raise money for her so that she can pay her medical bills and, get home from Japan and whatnot. But then people that she had scammed before, including Aaron, they jump on this and they start contacting the people who set up this fundraiser, and they're like, do not give that woman any money. She does not have MS. And so a bunch of her former friends start calling her out online. And eventually she gets called out so many times that the FBI has to get involved. And they start investigating. And their investigation finds that over the years, she has scammed between 8 to 10 victims collectively out of $600,000. Which
That's
she
so
mostly
grimy.
spent on various vacations and comic books and beauty products and stuff like that.
That's
And so, bam, Sabrina
Bruh.
gets arrested.
Thank you.
And I don't have a mugshot, but
Why
here's
are
a
the
picture.
cops? Nah, that's
So,
messed
bam,
up.
Sabrina gets arrested.
There's the same
And
guy.
I don't have a mugshot, but here is a
They're
picture
literally
of
the same
her
guy.
in real
What is he
life.
trying to say with
And
it?
ultimately,
Leonardo
she
AI,
gets
what are you trying to
convicted.
say?
And she gets sentenced to 27 months in prison.
Pack her up. Ding dong.
So this
Oh,
reality TV
killed
producer,
somebody. Yo, do I want to see this? I feel like the scam videos are going hard. I'm not gonna lie. Jean-Claude, Belgian couple. I don't really want to watch the killing ones. We've been on a run with these scamming ones, so let's find another scamming one. Yeah, how about that? And we'll include it in the video. Oops. Oops, not the channel stats. And he's making bread though. Hopefully. I say hopefully. It's undoubtedly making mad bread. Which is amazing. YouTube money, boy. You know what I'm saying, boy? For this quality entertaining content. That I've been enjoying quite a bit. Infinite Money Glitch. Let's watch this one. Coupon scamming? Hold on, I want to watch the coupon scamming. Wait, oh no, it's the girl with the fake coupons. Never mind, we know her. Let's see, Infinite Money Glitch. This is probably cap. Like that Cash App glitch that put people in debt. Because they got the money and spent it, bro. Nah, if I was doing that, bro. If I did that little Cash App, or was it Chase Bank? I think it was either Chase or Cash App. But if I was doing that, if I was like grimy and I was like trying to like scam and finesse, bro, I wouldn't have gotten the money and then, well, this is just different because I just be doing different stuff anyways, but I wouldn't have gotten the money and then instantly spent that junk. I would have gotten it, put it into something that was going to appreciate in value or like generate interest, and then if they ask for it back, I'll just give it back and then collect the money that I got with whatever investment or whatever interest bearing thing and then just get off with the free money. But like, and then you can still come out on top. You're like, oh, I didn't know, but then give them the money back, and then you still come out with a check. So like, say like hypothetically, right? Let's say right, you had like an APY, high APY savings account or something like that for like 4 to 5%. You put that junk in there. I don't know how long the scam lasted, but I'm guessing it probably took a couple of months for them to get it back in blood. But like, you could collect a couple months worth of interest on like however much money you wanted, pretty much, up to, limits that would not make people look crazy. But yeah, you could have just compounded that or like mad crazy, and then maybe invested it or something like that. Put it into like S&P 500 for like a little bit, and on a good day, on a good little run, on a good little section, something that's trending upwards on like the monthly or like the weekly or something like that. And then just go, oh, y'all need the money back. Oh, I have it right here. And then meanwhile, the whole time you got off with tens of thousands off the back end. Hey. But let's watch this.
Have you just heard about this guy who discovered a real-life infinite money glitch?
What's that?
So the guy's name is Dan, and Dan is 29 when the story
check my
starts.
water
He's a
for
bartender
ants, 'cause
living in Australia.
I've been having ants in the water filter. I saw some in there, and then when I poured this cup before, I had like 5 ants in them, so I had to pour it out. I know I've downed a couple of ants before, just unknowing, because I saw them like on the water filter after I had been drinking it for a while, and I was like, what? So I know I downed a couple of them, just not looking. But it's okay, extra protein, right?
And one night in 2011, he's out at a bar, drinking, having a good time, and Dan suddenly realizes that he's out of cash. And so he leaves and he walks to the nearest ATM. And there, he tries to transfer $200 from his credit card to his savings account.
Okay.
But for some reason, the transfer doesn't work. The ATM screen keeps saying, transaction canceled. And then it spits his card back at him. So Dan is like, well, that's weird. And so he tries again. But this time, he tries to withdraw $200 directly from his savings account.
Okay.
And it works. The thing is, he didn't really have $200 in his savings account. It's some kind of glitch that's going on. And Dan, he's a bit drunk, and so he doesn't really question what just happened. He's like, all right, I got the money. I'm going back to the bar. And he leaves, and he goes and he drinks more. Later, when he leaves the bar, he ends up walking by that same ATM again. And he's like, I wonder if I can make that glitch work again. And so he transfers another $200 from his credit card to his savings account, and once again, he's able to pull out the cash. So then he's like, all right, I'm gonna try more. And so he tries again with $500, and that works. And then $600, and that works. And so at this point, Dan's thinking, did I just discover an infinite money glitch? And so he does it a few more times, and he takes all the cash, and he goes home.
Is there no repercussions?
Now, I don't want to get into the weeds of how this glitch works, but after testing it so many times, Dan eventually figures out that as long as he transfers a bit of money from his credit card every night, his bank balance will stay positive. And he can just transfer money into his own account forever. Or, at least until he gets caught. And so that's what he ends up doing. Over and over again. He's at the ATM every night taking out thousands of dollars. In the first 2 weeks alone, he takes out more than $20,000 little by little each night. Because for some reason, the glitch will only work between 1 and 3 in the morning when the ATMs go offline. But every day, he keeps expecting the police to come banging on his door. But every day, he's surprised that it doesn't happen. And a few weeks go by. And the bank, they haven't seemed to notice. They haven't reached out or anything. He even goes to the bank in person, I guess, to check if they're suspicious or if he's been flagged. But no one brings anything up. So he keeps going. Every night between 1 and 3 in the morning, he's there transferring money from his credit card.
I'm surprised nothing pulled up on the cameras. They don't think that's weird. Maybe they just think he's running his routes. He's running a business. All right, guy's getting money somehow. He's just withdrawing the money, I guess.
To his savings and then into cash from the ATM.
15K.
And pretty quickly, he's made so many transfers and withdrawals that he technically becomes a millionaire. And this is when Dan is finally like, all right, fuck it. I'm just gonna live my life like a baller. And he starts spending big.
That's how
he's eating in nice restaurants. He starts staying in luxury hotels. He's going on vacations. Like here he is in Paris. He's buying himself clothes. He rents a private jet for $90,000 to take him and his friends to an exotic island in Asia for a weekend. He gambles a lot because, he's really into that. And, just because Dan is a nice guy, sometimes he's generous. Sometimes he'll tip waiters like hundreds of dollars, or he'll pay for hotel rooms for homeless people to spend the night in. And so bro is living like a millionaire now. And according to him, this, it really helped him with the ladies. So that's nice too. Now, people obviously don't know he's taking advantage of this weird ATM glitch. His close friends know, but other people don't. But they do ask him how he's getting all this money, and he tells them that he works in real estate or that he's an investment banker. And I guess
that's so stupid. Why would you say that, bro? If you don't know anything about real estate, that is so easy to get clapped for. Like, you could have said anything else. Like, at least, like, make a believable lie. I don't know what he actually does, but, like, at least make a believable lie. He could say, or say, like, oh, I invested in Bitcoin early. That would have been enough. That would have been sufficient. Oh, okay. That would have been sufficient.
Guess no one really questions it. And so Dan just keeps having the time of his life. But here's where it all gets complicated for him. Well, he's out here having a lot of fun with his money and whatnot, and he and his friends are
I'm not saying
partying
I
a
don't
lot.
condone his
He's
actions.
also the kind of guy
I'm just
who's
saying,
never
if
done
you
it.
were gonna, if you were gonna go that route, man, at least stand on something better. Cause that will get you caught so quick.
Anything better.
You're gonna be like, oh, what's been your ROI this quarter? And then bro just starts stuttering.
Had his whole life. At least nothing criminal like this. And slowly but surely, he becomes super paranoid that he's gonna get caught. Every
Makes sense.
day, he wakes up wondering, is this the day that they're gonna catch me? Is this the day that this all falls apart? Like, bro is having nightmares
I
over
ain't
here
mad
about the
at him,
SWAT
though.
team standing outside his
I
door
ain't
to
that
bust
mad at
him.
him.
And like every time his phone rings, he half expects it to be the bank
probably
telling him, we know what
inconsequential
you
in the
did,
grand
Dan,
scheme of
and
things.
you're in big trouble. But it never is.
just-
When the bank
Where
does,
was he getting the money from? I don't know, but it's probably just like he said he was sending it from like his credit card company, right? So like realistically that money is just being printed by some unethical printer already. So like yeah, it's like somebody like the money that he's taking is probably just like 29% APRs that have been hitting up somebody's grandma for years. And he's just taking that money in blood. Probably. So I ain't even mad at that. Let's go.
call him, it's just them confirming some transactions he made for security reasons. Like,
Oh.
nothing out of the ordinary. Now, Dan
Oh.
knows that he could go on the
not
run.
condoning
Like, he
his
could take
actions,
millions
but
of
am I mad
dollars
at
and
it?
just
No,
disappear
not really.
into some foreign, exotic country. But then he might end up a fugitive, and he'll be constantly running from the law. And he'll never be able to go home and, like, see his family or his friends again. And so, honestly, you know, this has been fun, but he's just tired of being paranoid all the time, and he's at his limit. And so,
Makes
after
sense.
4 months of exploiting a random glitch in his bank's ATMs, Dan finally just stops. And in total, over the 4 months, he was able to withdraw and spend more than 1.6
not
million Australian
That's not
dollars,
bad. Oh, he's
or about
Australian.
1 million US dollars.
That's not
And
bad.
instead of moving on with his life, old Honest Dan actually calls up the bank and he explains everything to them. And he
he get
confesses.
arrested?
But here's where it gets kind of weird. The bank more or less tells him that they
They don't
can't do
care.
much about it right now, but that they'll report him to the police and that the police will be contacting him soon and he's going to be in so much trouble. And Dan, you know, he knew this would happen. And so he waits, and he waits, and he waits.
And nothing
but
happens?
the police never contact him.
That's
and
cool.
3 years go by.
Nice.
And it's now
Hey, W him.
2014. And still, nothing has happened to him. The bank never follows up, and the police never reach out. Now,
See?
at this
That-
point,
I guess at this point they're probably thinking like what I'm thinking. They're like, whatever, right? They know what timing they're on. They know what it is. That's blood money, bro. So he took it in blood. Hey. They probably don't care. Maybe, hopefully, but is there gonna be an until?
most people would probably just like shrug it off and move on or be grateful that they got away with it. But not Dan. Dan, he's actually having trouble moving on. He's
He
got
said,
a lot
"No,
of
I have to go to jail for this." What is he doing, bro? Just it wasn't like he was like. It wasn't like he was out here doing crazy stuff with the money. Like he was just having fun and like just like being a generous guy. Like it wasn't like he was out here doing crazy stuff like enslaving people. Like he wasn't even moving that crazy. So honestly, just enjoy it, bro. I don't think
anxiety and guilt from this whole experience.
That's
so
tough,
much
man.
so
Being a
that
good
he starts
person, though.
seeing a psychiatrist
that.
to help him get
feel
through
that.
it. And I guess that psychiatrist recommends that in order to make himself feel better, he should consider turning himself in to the police. But Dan doesn't do that. I mean, he spent all this time thinking the police were going to contact him.
How much money does he
and they
have
never
still?
did.
Honestly, he would probably feel a lot less bad about it if he just donated the rest of it to a cause that he cares about, or just like gave it to like people and like, you know, invested in some stuff, invested in some people. He was just like, you know what, hey, I came into some money, you know what I'm saying? He did the Drake God's Plan. He came back to the hood, started passing out bands. He'll probably feel way less bad about what he did.
And so he actually comes up with a better idea.
What's that?
He's gonna go public. He starts doing interviews and making TV appearances and telling his story that way. Because, you know, it's a really interesting story. Once he goes public, the police, they still don't reach out or do anything.
They don't care, bro. Why
And
would
one of
they?
the producers of a TV show that he was interviewed on actually low-key calls the police and turns Dan in. And it turns out police had never been investigating him. It just seems like the bank didn't actually report him at all like they said that they were going to do.
He had to go
And
out of
if
his
he
way,
hadn't
bro.
gone on TV and told the world what he did, he probably never would have been caught. But it seems like he kind of wanted to get caught. You know, he was like,
he had to
feeling
go
just
out
way
of
too-
his way. He said, and I quote, "I need to go to jail for this." He said, "Oh, oh my gosh, man."
guilty about it. But anyway,
May this type of like, I don't move crazy anyways, but may this level of guilt never find me in this lifetime, bro. To where I'm out here screaming from the heavens like, "Hey, y'all gotta do something." No, I will never let this never find
and
me.
so, bam, Dan is arrested.
This
And I don't have
level
a
of guilt,
mugshot, but here's a picture of him in real life. Here's what's weird, though. He actually goes to trial, and no one understands how the glitch happened or how Dan managed to trick the ATM into giving him millions. Like, the prosecutor doesn't understand it, the judge doesn't understand it. Even the
was an
bank
actual glitch.
can't fully explain how their own system let this happen. And I guess because of that, they can't give Dan a very harsh sentence, so he only gets 1 year in prison. It's kind of worth it, though, huh?
That's more than people committing actual crimes, unfortunately. Yeah, unfortunately, that's more than people committing actual crimes. Actual money launderers be getting months in jail or the same sentence. Crazy. But that's going to be the video. I hope y'all liked it. Ooh, I didn't mean to unlike that. That'll be the video. Let me put that. That's going to be the video. I hope y'all liked it, man. Be sure to like if you did and comment below if you got something to say to me or about the video. And subscribe if you want to see some more, because we got some more, okay? But that's going to be it for now. Bye.